here for day 3 of MSI 2019, a rematch between Invictus Gaming and Phong Vu Buffalo. We'll see if maybe the Buffaloes can be the kryptonite for the second of the top 2 teams they've played here today, or if IG is going to continue this win streak.
And you just brought it up, Flowers. Some very impressive numbers when we're talking about the bloodiness, how fight-heavy these games were the first time these 2 teams match. But I look over at the likes of Invictus Gaming, and unless that starts in the lane phase, you know, when you do have a jungler like Hecarim, you tend to play the early game a bit slower. So I am looking at Meliodas on one of his signature picks of that Jarvan on a composition that has a lot of CC and a lot of different lanes to lead the charge in this early game.
Because what we've seen when Phong Vu is at their most successful is the ability for Meliodas to have early impact and then start to escort Null around. And Null on a champion like Lissandra can have great side lane impacts. They're also running 2 teleports to just the 1 of IG. So if these fights start breaking out, you have to be very aware of the numbers that can join, particularly in the bottom lane.
And you know, as we're waiting for the minions to collide here into the lanes, I do want to bring up something interesting about the last 2 times these teams played against each other, because we were talking about Bob Ross right before this game started, and Bob Ross likes to pick landscapes, mountain ranges, we see a lot of, and gold graphs throughout MSI 2019 have looked very similar to red or blue mountain ranges, as it just starts off and continually trends in one direction as one team gets a lead and holds tight. But IG versus PVB was one that was all over the place. It looked more like a cardiograph, back and forth as each team seized control at different points. And that's what I'm hoping we get here again, as Meliodas has made his way towards that top side very early.
I have to say, Flowers, your ability to take Bob Ross into cardiographs was just amazing.
Hell
I don't even know how you pull off that sync.
I'll take that. But bottom side, it's going to be Big Coral and Pallet trying to take control of the lane here early on. The Lucian, the Nautilus, 2 very aggressive, high-damage champions. But you are going up against 2 of the only champions in League of Legends literally designed to play together. So we'll have to be careful about that one.
It's also double cleanse come out, so a lot of respect being shown from both Rookie and Jackie Love to recognize that you're against the Lissandra and you're also against the Nautilus. And in tandem with the Jarvan, we talk about a lot of those CC that Meliodas has to play around in his lanes. He needs to make sure that he's also playing around that defensive cooldown.
You can see right now, Pallet's trying to repel the potential invade from Ning. But this priority that Rookie has been able to gain over the nerfed Lissandra is allowing the split map scenario, because you can see bottom lane was pushing in. Hold that thought, however, because they might be looking for a turret dive.
Oh, baby, this could be the dive onto the Shy. There comes your chain CC, juggled around, beaten down, and that is how you do it. Phong Vu Buffalo, first blood in 3 minutes.
And it just gives different life into PvP when Meliodas is there. The fact that he's giving attention finally to Xerath, who for a majority of this tournament has just been left on an island, has just been ignored. And on the other side of that coin, the Shy is really getting a camp today.
Yeah, he certainly is, and this is just very nice layering of CC. I don't know whether the flash was necessary to secure the knock-up, but the Shy also expended his, so 1-for-1 trade on the summoner spells, has to teleport back, and now the second gank can be even more crucial.
Bottom side, we'll see if Pallet maybe wants to go after something here. You can see him step into the side of the minion wave just in case he could get an angle there for the dredge line, but Balon and Jackie Love not in a spot where they're too worried about it. Everybody's topped off on HP down here, so no real chances of a full-on all-in just yet.
And it's that split map that Spawn was referencing prior. The fact that Rookie got the priority in the mid lane means that Jackie Love and Balan can play hyper-aggressive like this, that even if the Dread lane does connect with them, they know that the likeliness of the jungler coming down and attacking them is very low.
Especially after he's just dove your top laner. And you have the jungler on your side of the map in the bottom side. So, yeah, absolutely. I really like the way that IG tried to attack, but at the end of the day, still the kill advantage going over to Phong Vu. And this is where summoner spells start helping you out, because if you're a Rookie right now, you have to run cleanse. You're going into, you know, the CC of Null as well as the knockup from the Jarvan. If you don't have it available, you're sitting duck as soon as level 6 hits. So Null's been able to get 2 recalls. He was getting smashed in lane. He comes back the first time with a teleport, pushes it in again, goes back the next time, gets himself some boost. Now if he's unlocked, has the ability to traverse the map.
And as you mentioned, the cleanses in combination with the CC. Hold on a second. We might have something else coming through here in just a moment. The Shy trying to get himself away from this one. Will not die a second time. Return some damage onto Meliodas there, but Phong Vu Buffalo is not willing to give the Shy a breather.
Yeah, didn't have the flash that time around to make sure that he hit the CC, so they don't find the flag and drag, which means that the Shy just walks that one off, but it feels like Meliodas is not going to leave.
And this is what Ning does very well. You can see that Ning now finally makes his way towards the top lane. He wants to start repelling some of these ganks because the wave is pushing in. They go again.
All right, it's 2 versus 2 this time. Numbers are at least going to be fair. Zeros now the target. The Shy turning on some damage. Ning is in there. He's wheeling that scythe around, and this is Conqueror Hecarim trampled underneath the hooves of Ning, and he'll collect a couple for the side of IG.
And this is not the first camp the Shy has seen. Ning bails him out of trouble. They have the minion wave. They have the summoner spell advantages. Once PVB commit, they just go all in.
And again, this is a champion that is very gold hungry in the Hecarim. I'll hold it bot lane.
Oh, it's a 2 versus 2 between Jackie and Big Koro. Who's going to be taken down first? Pallet very low here now as well. Baolan, the only member with plenty of HP remaining.
Yeah, the gentleman's agreement was off. We knew where all the junglers were. We knew that there was going to be no gank, so they're going to test their luck, see how the trade was going to go. But kind of back to Ning. Gold hungry jungler. Now look at him. He's springboarded ahead. He's feeling very happy on that Hecarim.
Let's see if Meliodas can get himself involved anywhere else. Bottom side, I don't think Jackie and Baolan are feeling like extending themselves any further. Meliodas just going into the bottom side of the river there as we take another look at what happened in this 2v2.
And Zeros goes very early into this gank, not able to lay a CC, which means the Shy walks off the initial measure, and then Ning with full health, you know, the red smite and the ghost available, just able to continue to out DPS.
Yeah, I really wanted to get another look at that one. Super cool, the interaction of using the charge there to knock Jarvan out of his flag and drag.
Everything beats Jarvan's flag and drag at this state.
It pretty much just gets bonked by anything else in League of Legends. If he tries to throw the flag and pull himself to it in the middle of a slightly stiff breeze, he just falls over in his butt. So I'm not really sure how you're going to fight that one. And it was especially nice, too, for the Hecarim. Because he got that charge off on the Jarvan a couple of seconds before the main fight started, it meant Conqueror was primed and ready to go. And that's why you saw health bars just get reduced to rubble.
And also, just a small interaction. It's actually Jarvan's body that knocks you up. If his body doesn't hit you, then you don't register the knockup. So whilst it looked like it was going to complete towards the Shy, if Jarvan doesn't pass through the particle, no CC registers. At times, even damage will go through, but the CC won't be there. So just a small thing to watch for. But Meliodas certainly aggressive in that gank and has still been active on Summoner's Rift.
And that's what I like to see from the Buffaloes. Be aggressive. Don't sit back and wait for IG to play their game and scale up. Frost, it was you who was talking about this the other day when we casted some games on the first day of group stage here, saying you don't beat IG by playing this scaling game and saying, no, we're going to be the better players and beat you in the late game. You drag them back down into the swamp that IG cut their teeth in, that Fiesta-laden early game of forcing them into the trench of fight after fight after fight, and you make them play like that.
That's because Invictus Gaming have the better players in this tournament, so you never want to fight them on even footing. You need to make sure that you have some sort of leverage advantage, and even putting them down a gold deficit, we've seen IG come back time and time again looking for that perfect run.
And talking about gold deficits, I think, is a good point whenever PVB is in the game, because this is a team starting from their best of 5 against Liquid in the play-in stage, has gone up in gold against so many of their opponents early on, but it wasn't until earlier today against G2 that they built this massive 16,000 gold lead that there was no way they were going to lose. They've often lost control in the mid-game, and that's where this team really needs to focus up.
And one of the big advantages they carried into that game was how well Meliodas and Pallet had played together, and then the success of Big Koro. Then Zeros started to get involved as the game progressed on something like the Akali.
Ning popped his sweeper as he was walking over this ward right at the edge of the vision of the turret here. You can see a couple of pings coming out from the side of PVB on that. They're saying, okay, there was a ward back there. We're not going to go back and kill it, but he knows you're here, and that means Ning goes back.
Because once again, Ning's only trying to allow the Shy to push in. One of the things is if you can't get a wave into the turret, as we saw Zeros struggling to do before, you start to lose CS. So ensuring that the wave crashes is going to push back in Ning's favor. However, Pallet and Baolan make eye contact.
Because there could be a fight down here, Meliodas is making sure he's as close as he can be to the bottom lane while still trying to clear out this Ocean Drake. Remember, Ocean's more valuable the earlier on into laning phase you can get it. Helps out a lot with that sustain. Meliodas still trying to clear this one down. Things in the bottom side, but he takes the blast cone over the wall the other way, and Meliodas will secure that to the side of Fong Wu.
And it feels like a very tense situation because you look across the board and everyone has their key ultimates. They're all level 6. But the thing that I want to point out is the teleport. One is being used by Zeros top lane right now, but Null still has his.
Here we go. There's your initiation coming out from Baolan as Ning comes in and just runs over Big Koro. They're looking to make it even another one instead. It'll be a 1-for-1 as Pallet makes sure he seals Ning's fate.
And Pallet, you absolute god, able to turn that one back So PVB at least get the return kill, but it was a great gank. You know, the buffering of the Hecarim ultimate, unstoppable in that leads to such an early kill. The setup is nice. They're contesting awards. You can see that Fongbu want to posture, double knock-up. And this is what I was talking about, buffering there. However, because he just continues so far forward, the ultimate doesn't actually catch up. The Shy has just killed Zeros.
And wait, he's got all his health. That's not a fight, that's a beatdown. He just found him and just started hitting on him. Okay, well, we're going to see how that one happened, but that wasn't close at all. I can tell you that just by looking at the health bars afterwards. Mid lane Meliodas coming in. LeBlanc's not exactly an easy champion to gank, so that's not going to do anything. But yeah, I really want to take another look at what happened there top side as Ning and Rookie look for Meliodas.
It's just IG things. You learn to accept it.
And just go with it, huh? All right, we're just going to roll with it. The Shy is being the Shy, as we would expect to see. All right, here we go.
Okay, so he runs at him, starts hitting him, has the ultimate kidnapped there, but will actually be taken out of it.
Well, that was about what we expected it to be, as Rookie's now going to be in some trouble here in the mid lane, trying to get himself away. Big Koro coming in with the calling. Finds himself the first kill. Let's see if he can make it two. I don't think so. Baolan is able to get himself out of that one. He's still heading for the hills. Zeros over the wall. Not going to find the chains, but he will find the damage, at least for now, but it's not quite enough. Goes for the flash, but the Rune Prison is down, and Zeros will not get his man.
Frustration from the top laner of Fongbu, and you can see the Shy still staunching him away from the lane. That means that Baolan will live. But in saying that, Rift Herald's still going to go across to the Buffalo.
Yeah, this is a creative look from the PvP. They know that they're getting slammed into that bot lane. Not only did they just die, but again, like Spawn was talking about, they're trying to cheat some of the tempo, some of the advantage back for themselves. Look at the CS discrepancy between Xayah and Lucian right now. It is not going well, but instead of running back bottom and just continue to get beaten on, they immediately pull the trigger on the numbers advantage to grab the Herald.
Very nice swap into the bottom lane from Null as well. Looked like Jackie Love was going to be able to take the turret outright. That meant that the reset would have been very quickly. Take another look at this fight in the mid lane. This is Null finally getting Rookie tied up. Rookie not wanting to burn crucial summoner spells. Gets caught in all of the CC and eventually will fall down.
Good flash away there from Baolan to make sure he doesn't die. And here you can see Zeros just come oh so close.
The fact that Baolan's able to just weasel his way out of this one on a sliver of health, and as Spawn was talking about, the frustration from Zeros to burn his flash trying to find something, I feel like that's probably going to be punished pretty soon.
Yeah, I think that might be the case, especially given how strong the Shy currently is in the mid lane. We keep talking about the advantages, the skill checks, you know, up 20 CS, was able to push in that lane. It looked rough to begin with. But IG just continue to check you at every stage of the game and accrue these advantages.
Pallet will clear out the control ward here as he stares down Baolan and says, what are you going to do about it? Pallet knows he has backup nearby, so even if there was somebody coming there from IG, they would be ready for the fight, which continues clearing out CS here in the mid lane as Zeros just hovers. He's like, all right, I'm getting the crap beat out of me in the top lane. I have to go somewhere else. Let's just hover my Lissandra, see if there's something to do. Fortunately, not gonna be the case.
It doesn't look good anywhere for PvP except for Null, which is what I want. I need them to unlock Null from this lane, get him away from Rookie, and with this team.
Zeros behind enemy line.
Zeros coming in for the flank here. Let's see if they can find the lockdown they need. Shy gonna be taken low, but not taken down just yet. Culling coming out. Rookie looking to get himself away. He will be taken down. That's one for the side of Fongbu Buffalo. Seeing if maybe they can find something else off of this one. Turret plating is still up, only for another 20 seconds. Rift Herald's gonna be summoned. That is perfect timing for Shelly. She will charge into this turret just in time to get 320 extra goals worth of plates. Give me the fine China on that one, as IG is now in some trouble. There comes your Cataclysm. Meliodas going to be tanking up the turret on that one. One more shot should take him down. Big Koro keeping him alive with the heal, as Shelly will continue putting the auto attacks into the tier 1 turret, looking to take that one out, and Fongbu Buffalo will tie up that objective count. They'll also grab themselves a free kill on the Shy and get another Rift Herald charge into the mid lane.
Meanwhile, top lane, Jackie Love has not moved. He takes the turret completely down, but that was so many resources expended. It looked like IG should have backed away, but the stubbornness persists, and they're not able to get away.
It just feels like PvP like waved the white flag. Like, we are done with the lane phase. We are going directly to 5v5. And again, I love these looks that they're giving us in this early game of just trying to push the pace of this game. Make sure that they are constantly fighting with the numbers advantage.
And not going to see the resulting turret dive. I was going to say, so that initial kill is fine because they commit so many people to come up to that blue buff and try and challenge. You get away with only one death, not really all that much expended. But then to try and defend the mid lane turret, whilst Rift Herald is being channeled, whilst your your AD carry is not moving from top lane, does seem to be this, kill-hungry IG not fighting on the right foot that we've seen, and this is why teams are able to generate a lead against them.
And despite the fact that Fongfu was able to find that success there, IG is striking back now. Zeros once again in some trouble. There comes Ning. Rookie looking to make sure he gets some money for it there too. IG still has themselves a 2,500 gold lead because of the massive plate difference you can see on your screen right now, as well as the farm leads in the top lane, in the jungle, and especially bottom side where Jackie's up 30 over Big Koro.
But the question is always going to be, how much is this Invictus Gaming having a happy game or playing with their food? Or are there legitimate holes in their early game that you can contest and abuse? It feels like rule number one, if you start a fight, Invictus Gaming are also going to fight you. It doesn't matter what any of the circumstances. But because their players are so gifted and so talented, it often works out for them. But I'm just curious, as we move further into this tournament, when does that run out?
Because this isn't a team that has been uncontested domestically for the last year. They didn't even come into the Worlds as the favorite. Jackie Love.
Jackie's getting some damage, but not much else. But no, you're right. Last year, it was all about RNG. That was the team everybody was talking about from the LPL. Could this be the golden year, the year where they win it all? IG had never even won a domestic title until spring of this year.
And that's because it looked more refined, more structured. Sure, it was still fast, it was still exciting, but RNG did seem to have that next level of cohesion. IG have always been chaos. It's just now more consistent working chaos.
And one of the things that did level up for them was their team fighting. And for me, that's what the LPL Championship really signified for Invictus Gaming. You are never going to win the LPL Cup if you cannot team fight. And ING were able to forge themselves into that fire. But it does feel that now these early games, they're sometimes going sideways. Multiple teams are getting the better of them at 10 minutes. And then they rely on that team fighting that they picked up in spring.
I also think the on-riff stability of always running as a hook goes wide, with the Shy over bringing in Duke in a lot of their matchup, gave this lineup a lot more cohesion. And we're seeing that now displayed on the international stage.
And as we're talking about their improvements in playoffs and sort of how that cemented them as this top team, I like to bring up something that Raz mentioned where this was a team that had abysmal vision stats throughout the regular split. They just apparently had the solo queue mentality of what's a ward that doesn't do damage? I need my longsword. But then once they get to the semifinals and the finals of the LPL playoffs, all of a sudden their vision stats go from complete garbage to fantastic, and they top the table.
I'm going to be real with you. They play a lot of games, so when playoffs comes around, you see a sixth gear, and unless you have that sixth gear, that separates the great LPL teams from the average ones.
Big Koro's now going to find himself on the receiving end of some damage as IG will take down that final tier 1 turret on the side of Fongfu Buffalo. Keep themselves around that 3K gold lead point. As we can see, everybody's got summoner spells just about up as well. The Shy needs to wait a little bit longer for the flash, but Ning's Ghost just became available once more, and considering that's a Hecarim with a level 2 ulti, initiation potential is big.
I mean, you can see Null starting to try and hunt out Rookie around the map right now. Courageous from the young man from the VCS. Trying to take on the best player in the world and, continuing to push into him because, as Vedius keeps telling me, at the end of the day, the champions only do what the champions do, and at this stage of the game, you should be able to push in as Lissandra.
And I also feel that they need to play around Null more. I like the fact that he is kind of peeking in. He tracked Rookie up through the jungle. He then followed him down to that bot lane. I really want Meliodas to pair with Null, to unlock him, to get him into some of these side lanes or work with him.
Because that's the thing. If I'm Rookie and I see a Lissandra just walking at me, I'm not just assuming it's a Lissandra. I'm assuming the cavalry is within touching distance. There's so much lockdown in the kit to be able to generate threat on the side lane. And because, once again, 2 teleports available on the side of Fongfu versus only the Shies for Invictus. As these summoner spells are all up, as we've had, that stability throughout the mid game, it means that objectives are much easier to set up.
PVB looking to steal away that blue buff. Meliodas going to manage to get that one with the smite. Denies it from Rookie, so he's going to have some mana issues here if a fight breaks out immediately. Big Koro coming in to back these guys up. Wants to be the damage that they need. That cannon to take down the tier 1 turret up here. Rookie, the lone defender, going to try to clear out the wave, keep these guys occupied at least for a moment. Rookie going to be getting himself out of some trouble. But is the flash enough? Rookie taken very low. Zero's making sure he's taken down. Big Koro getting himself away. Going to be dodging away from the knockup. Balan also going to fall. It's a rampage over to Big Koro. 4 kills for the PVB 80 carry. But the fight is not ending yet. Pala gets himself away, but it will not be enough. Meliodas in retreat denies the onslaught of shadows, and Invictus Gaming will only find the one.
A scrappy fight, and it might not be done. Null does have to retreat out over the wall, but again, Invictus choose to stay underneath the turret, burn crucial summoner spells, and it's still Fongfu coming out with a victory.
Ning is still looking to go in. He wants to find something else. The blood of one member of Fongbu Buffalo will not satisfy Invictus Gaming, but unfortunately, that's what they have to settle with this time.
And you can understand why PVB are trying to force the game into their hands, really drive the route here, because if you look across their competition, if you look across their items, they're in their pocket. They feel really good, very strong. Whereas JackeyLove is sitting in between his 3 items, and that's when Invictus Gaming will immediately say, okay, we're ready to fight.
And whilst the Shy starts his teleport, look at where JackeyLove is. Look at where Ning start this fight off. It is a genuine 3v5, and that's why 2 members of IG drop immediately. Now, they burn so many resources that they can continue to chase, but it is ultimately a 1 for 2 or 1 trade for Fongbu. And not only that, they got the Soul teleport out. That means that wherever Zeros goes, the Shy cannot follow.
Null trying to return some damage onto Rookie here in the bottom side. Loses 3/4 of his health for his troubles. Gonna eat some honey fruit to top back off. Multiple control wards being placed down from the side of Fongbu Buffalo here around the Infernal Drake. They really want this one.
But this also kind of feels like the mental game from Rookie here. I agree with Jake. He probably thought that Null has always had assistance here, but now he knows that Null is by himself.
The Shy trying to use the Realm Warp just as a scare tactic there, but now Fongbu Buffalo looking to turn things right back around. JackeyLove having to get himself away. Zeros wants to use his Onslaught of Shadows, but it's not going to be nearly as effective as Ning's, who's already found a couple of kills. 2 dead on the side of Fongbu Buffalo. Could it be even more? Ning's going on a killing spree, turning it into 3. Meliodas trying to get himself away, but gallop, here comes the cavalry! Meliodas in some trouble, gets himself out with a combo, and he'll barely limp out of this one.
And PVB, it looked like it was your early game initially, but you are still playing in Invictus Gaming's world right there. And it doesn't matter that JackeyLove is in between items. It doesn't matter that Lucian's sitting right in his 2-item power spike. They just decimate in team fights.
And even though they lost Infernal, a 5,000 gold lead, they now command thanks to the turrets they're getting after the fact. It's going to be even more if Ning and Rookie are able to get this one here in the bottom side. You can see Meliodas rotating over to stop them on that one, wants to prevent it, but Null will fall to JackeyLove in the mid lane. The tier 2 goes down bottom side. Rookie jumps over the wall, easy there with the distortion. And Invictus Gaming regroup. And
looking more like a traditional Fongbu Buffalo game. The early punches, the ability to go with the best teams in the world, but the consistency still just not there. You can see that just little micro interactions going askew. In the last fight, it was Zeros ulting into a wall. This is what I want to look for. So Rookie on the flank, they're attacking from multiple directions. Zeros teleports in, wants to be able to join the main body of the fight, but does not ult far enough, ultimately hits nobody. And that means that his team's just left without him. The team fight already over, Ning just commanding so much presence in the rest of the skirmish, and Fongbu fall apart.
It's very easy to tell which one of those Hecarim ults came from a Hecarim and which one came from a Silas, as Ning's once again starting off a fight, able to take down the enemy support, now going to be in some trouble. Caught up in the Cataclysm, but still kept alive! That's what Spirit of Dread and Conqueror can do! That horse is keeping himself alive for now. Rookie's going on a rampage, and Fongbu Buffalo lose 2.
He just looked like a ping pong ball in there. He was like zipping around the Cataclysm. I thought for sure Ning was never going to see the light of day.
Nope, that's how much healing you can get from this champion. That's one of the reasons why he is so strong right now. Damage build Hecarim is not quite as squishy as he seems unless you kill him instantly. Null gets himself away with a claw. Big Koro in some trouble here. Chains are going to connect. Bellong coming in from the side, looking to find the knock-up. There he goes up into the air, and there he goes back into the ground. Unstoppable for the IG mid lane.
Great prediction there out of Bellong as well. You can see that this is starting to really enter IG territory. They're comfortable with the pace of the game, and every single time just eking out advantages now.
And at this point, they are now comfortable with all of their items. The fact that JackeyLove's completed the Infinity Edge, they're going for the fight. They want to end it.
Oh, Pallet, that's not where he wants to be. JackeyLove will find yet another kill. Baron is on the table. Invictus Gaming is all around the pit, and things are quickly becoming impossible for PVB.
And this is the evolution of the LPL game. In years previous, this would have been hit the Baron, started as quickly as possible, force them to come with it. This time it's shut out vision, bait it, get the secondary pick, force them away, ensure it is uncontested and close this game out cleanly. Whilst IG aren't showing the full arsenal in their favor, when they turn it on, still checking off the right boxes.
As we take another look at how all of this one started, it is Ning leading the charge classically on the horse. He is a very fed Hecarim, I believe also has some armor to his name, which is partly why he can't be taken down so quickly. And then you called it, Flowers, the fact that he just gets so much back.
Conquer is a silly route.
It just looks ridiculous to see him sprinting around that circle.
Sprinting and rapidly spinning the stick. Every half second or so, it's another spin, another heal. This champion is able to keep himself alive through that, and that means 5-1-5 for the jungler, sitting pretty, up 30 CS over his opponent, taking over this game. His team 10K ahead, and his mid laner on the hunt for the enemy ADC. Damage coming. All right. Sure.
You respect it, but you hate to see it happen. Lucian turns around, guns blazing.
That's like Indiana Jones.
That was exactly Indiana Jones, actually. He tried so hard to make that look stylish, and instead he just got completely taken out. Let's see what Invictus Gaming are going to do now with the man advantage for the next 15 seconds. Looks like they're kicking in the front door to the Fongbu Buffalo base. Inhibitor number 1, see you later. Inhibitor number 2 will likely come under fire here soon as both side lanes are under pressure. The Shy in a 1 versus 3. He's pretty far ahead, but I don't think he's far enough ahead to do a whole lot here. Gets out with the Realm Warp. He tried. Gave it the good old college try. Not quite where he wanted it to be, but now the backup is here. Ning's coming in trying to finish off Zeros. Won't quite be able to find him though, but Zeros says, no, you tried really hard for that. I'm gonna give it over to you. And Ning will not be able to find any more. However, now it's the rest of IG. Jackie Love pulls back the feathers. He's going on a killing spree. Balon's down to about 100 HP. Melioda's gonna be taken down. Balon will fall, but it means Jackie's gonna get yet another. It's an ace over the side of Invictus Gaming thanks to the mid laner. And now they're just pushing down mid.
It should just be the game. You can see 2 members of IG still left up and available, but no creeps just yet. 12 seconds on Big Koro. See whether they can end it.
I always hate when you have this barred up cannon minion and he's the only thing there. You just want to push him. Say, get in there. I need you to tank this. Go take the backdoor protection off, but
Big Koro's
gonna
up.
happen this time. Big Koro coming in. Maybe he can defend this. Is this the hero play? The culling comes out. Big Koro is going right back into the fountain one way or another. Invictus Gaming need a couple more auto attacks and they will remain undefeated today. They'll put an extra kill in their pocket and they'll take down Fongbu Buffalo.
Now Big Koro